Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals On The Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. This is the 218th episode, and the Bengals have dropped to 4-9 in what nationally they probably thought was an awesome game, but to us, embarrassing, finding a new way to lose. I want to write a book one day, 100 ways to lose a football game. And this is the Bengals, probably the last 25 years you could do this and get 100 crazy losses. This was another one. And so a little bit different film review today. We're not going to watch like one player or one situation or one segment of the team. I've got like 20 plays I want to break down. I'm probably only going to get to 10 or 11 that decided this game in this breakdown here. So let's dive right in. These are the plays that tell the story of the game. Okay, our first play here is the T. Higgins touchdown. This is the second quarter, so we're pretty much driving right through the first quarter. While a lot happened that could have decided the end of this game, at this point, this becomes the biggest, most impressive play to me, and that's why I wanted to include the T. Higgins touchdown and to see what Joe Burrow sees on this play in a lot of ways, because I think right away when we're looking at this, and I wanted to see what the Bills were doing. They were doing a lot to disguise, but they were trying to double as much as they can or play quarters as much as they can too, which you get a lot of these that turn into man coverage. But a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on Jamar Chase, right? And the Bengals are cool with that. That's why Chase Brown's going this way. You know, you're trying to get, if all these guys want to jump on Jamar, we're going to end up with Chase Brown in the flats and Burrow will hit that. But Burrow instantly at the drop back is looking, gets to here, and he knows where he wants to go with this ball because we see one defender come up and so he's thinking it's quarters by the way he hits that and the way he doesn't carry the tight end here. So now the tight ends or the safety on this side is going to have to take the tight end. Quarters works by, they're going to draw let me clear this out real quick. Quarters works by, let's draw a line right here. Any receiver that goes past this guy will pick up. Does that make sense? So as you see it here, this linebacker is allowing Noah Fant to go by him, and the safety is going to pick him up. So once he crossed that line, that safety is going to pick him up. This tells Burrow right now that he has one-on-one on the outside with T. Higgins and Maxwell Harrison, the first-round pick. So he hits that back foot, and he says, okay, bang, I'm throwing it. Like, is T open? No, not really. I mean, he's always open if you throw it the way he does, and you get a guy with this incredible ball skills, ball tracking, body control, right? Burrow places this thing where no one else can get it. Like Harrison is spinning. He doesn't know where the ball is, and now he finally reaches up for it and tries to get it. By this time, T is already catching it, turning his body away from the defender and getting both feet down. It's a A+ throw. So when people I've already seen national analysts say, well, Burrow's throwing to the best receivers in the league, or I've seen Bills fans. He's got the best weapons in the league compared to us. And it's like, probably true. But also, the ball placement here is what makes this work. And the offensive line has been great for so long now that they give you good protection, allow you to hit this ball. This might be considered a pressure on Dylan Fairchild. I think he was charged with one all game. But here's what I'm talking about with ball placement. So we're right here right now, right? And Harrison's looking up this way for the ball as T is looking up this way for the ball. The ball is actually going to land here. So T is able to turn his body, contort, and grab it at the sideline. It's so hard for a DB to be able to track that, make a play on it, like nearly impossible. So now we get to trading blows between quarterbacks. And it was Burrow, now it's Allen doing what he does. Burrow winning with IQ and accuracy, right? Now it's Allen being an absolute freak show off script. And it's a fourth down play. This is 4th and 4. The Bengals defense has a stop and has the ability to come out of this with no points allowed. And this is 2 of the 3. The Bills went 2 of 3 on 4th downs here. So these aren't tush push. This is a 4th and 4 type situation. Anyway, Allen looks to the left. He sees quickly as Jalen Davis drops out this way, and we drop out DJ Turner that way. Allen goes, nope, not that. Let me look to the right now. and he ends up coming to the right now here. Same situation. Dax is going to end up on Dalton Kincaid with the safety sliding that way. You really don't have anything to the right either. So he checks that, doesn't want it, comes back middle. Shakir is running through the zone. So he's like, all right, I'm probably not getting that either. Right? If he was sitting down, maybe you just hit this and Shakir tries to run upfield. So everyone's covered. We're doubling Dalton Kincaid. We're not letting tight ends beat us. We've got Geno Stone. We've got Dax Hill on him. We're in good situation. We got Jordan Battle on Ty Johnson. We're doubling Gabe Davis over here. Really, we're good. Like defensive-wise, everything looks good. Now we need somebody on the front to win. And Myles Murphy flashes a little bit, forces Allen to break the pocket. I don't ever want Allen to break the pocket. They should have treated this more like Lamar, because if he gets outside of you guys, you're done for. And so now Allen's like, okay, can I run and make this happen here? We got man coverage, basically. Can I run out here and outrun B.J. Hill? Hill does a very good job of running down that line and forcing Allen to plant his feet and stop. And if you look, still, nobody really open on this play. And then Allen stops and figures, I might have to throw this ball. And I bet his eyes quickly go here and here, like maybe I could fit this in over here to this guy. But he sees Khalil Shakir in the middle here. They kind of lock eyes. Both guys look at each other, and he sees the nameplate of Demetrius Knight and says, you know what? I can throw this thing. Laser ball right over Knight's shoulder. He's never going to know the ball's coming. And if Shakir sees it, he can make this catch. And boy, does he. And it's a crazy play. I was sitting in that end zone there. This is basically the view I had, just a little bit more angled this way. And a stunning play from our perspective. But the defense does its job for the first half of the play. You need somebody on the front to win. Like somebody's got to win cleanly enough to really affect this play. And no one really does. Even the flash here for Myles Murphy, all that really does is allow Allen to break. And now guys get a chance to run and go backyard football. And that's where Allen is at his best. He'll does a really good job of corralling him the best he can here. Osai's trying to track down from the backside. And Myles Murphy has a chance to knock that ball down. He's got to gather himself and jump. It's a tough situation. It's just crazy to me that it got through his hands the way it did. And then just over the shoulder pad of Demetrius Knight for Khalil Shakir as three guys converge, right? I think it's Barrett Carter, Demetrius Knight, Geno Stone. And now the snow is falling, and it's starting to get messy. Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense are 3 for 3, scoring 3 touchdowns on their opening drive. The Bengals did a good job of doing this, getting Jamar with a safety on him a lot. And the Bills disguised it well, though. And as Jamar goes all the way to the outside, now it looks like man coverage, because now I think Trey White goes on Jamar and Cole Bishop takes Noah Fant. And to the right side, we got Yoshi and Gesicki to the right. So let's see what happens on the coverage here. It looks like straight up man across for the Bills, which is interesting. Man, we're press man. We got one single high safety to the side, and Burrow is looking this way to start. I think he sees the double team there, so they can't go there. Maybe he can come back and hit this one, hit Gesicki over the middle for a touchdown. Maybe, but the linebackers right in that window will probably see it on the other side. Maybe, so it looks like you got double posts here. Maybe you can go back to Yoshi as the second one. Great, and he wanted to throw it. He thought about it, but Milano's jumping in there. So Burrow's like, all right, let's go make something happen. Time for Burrow magic. And this is just like Allen. You're buying time. You're getting out. You're creating space. I don't know if you saw Chase Brown on that, but watch Chase Brown right here. When he sees Burrow take off, he goes upfield and then cuts it back. That's like textbook scramble drill, is to go up and cut back, because you get the defender thinking, oh, he's going to the back of the end zone, and now I can use that leverage against him and get to the front of the pylon where he makes a diving catch on a Burrow well-placed ball. You'll see again when they flip the camera around. When he throws this, like Chase Brown is still not even breaking out of his route, but Burrow, I think, knows what Chase Brown is going to do and gets to it. Watch the offensive line, though, man. Like, they've given up 1 sack in the last 4 games. 4 games, 1 sack on the offensive line. Man, he wanted to hit that window shot, and maybe he could have. Maybe, like, if he goes here with it, and you're getting Milano to go this way, but the other safety's probably coming back to try and make that a tighter throw. So Burrow's like, nah, forget it. He gets everyone to jump. Now he's breaking the pocket and throwing. Oh, it's not going to show you here, but it's right. I mean, we've seen the replays. The replays are beautiful for Chase Brown, diving and making this and getting a touchdown out of it. Burrow running off with a finger in the air. Awesome. second half, almost the end of the third quarter on this, if you want to know how fast we're going in there, because the fourth quarter is going to take up a lot of these plays that really start to decide the game. But the Bills are driving to try and put this thing into a one-score game again, but probably a 3-point game here, and they've got a fake slant they were running. They just converted, I want to say, on a third down where they will RPO a slant here to Keon Coleman. So you see Allen come up and look at it. Remember that, because this is very common. And he's going to turn and hand the ball off to James Cook. With everyone kind of slanting inside here, Cook's going to bounce it out to the outside right away. And boy, that ball pops out and is such a big break for this defense that needs one. At this point, I think the Bills only have, I think it's 21-18 at the score. And, I mean, the Bengals have held them to 18 points. It was 11 at halftime. You're feeling really good. The defense has done enough at this situation. Let's watch these guys up front really set the tone. I want to shout out Slayton here. Instantly diving inside, moving inside, getting that center to drop where Oren Burks can now fill this hole. I think this is Chris Jenkins knifing in this way, Barrett Carter knifing in this way. Like, you've got penetration in the middle there. And this is why Cook says, okay, I need to bounce this out. And Battle's getting sucked in. It's going to end up DJ Turner. You got the outside. Battle, if you got here, he's kind of getting sucked in there because we're going to end up with Cook on the outside. Battle's going to flow with it and flow with James Cook and mirror him pretty well here. Right there to get through the hole, make his hit on Cook. And as he's got him wrapped up, Turner's going to come in, and he's actually the one that's going to rip the ball and rake the ball out into the end zone. Guys keep playing with it, flow towards it, and Oren Burks recovers it one-handed in the snow. I mean, big play for the defense. Now it is the start of the fourth quarter. Well, not the start. It's in the fourth quarter now. We're at 8:50 now. This is the same drive. So, again, the Bengals have controlled this clock. They take that fumble. They take it from the 20, and they're driving down the field once again. And the Bills are showing blitz, man. And they haven't blitzed too much, but I think they're starting to feel desperate. It's 21-18. The Bengals go up here 28-18, have a 10-point lead with 8 minutes to go. Your win percentage there is extremely high. And looks like there's a little confusion for the Bills. You see guys communicating, not really sure, but they're setting up the wall here still to make it look like cover zero. And what really stands out to me is they are showing this blitz, and they're showing right here. And I want to say that's Jordan Poyer. It is Jordan Poyer, yes. So as Jordan Poyer is really showing this blitz, he's not actually going to come. And I think that's what Burrow is looking at right away, because as he does here, we have Chase Brown into the flats. Now, whatever these guys are doing doesn't really matter, because if all these guys are coming and we've got 3 guys here and we've got 3 weapons here, and if Poyer comes, nobody's going to be covering Chase Brown. So Burrow hits this right away and he goes, he's like rolling out because he wants to go hit Chase Brown. But the Bills are lying about it, right? They're completely jumping on these routes here. Poyer's right here now. He's jumping on Chase Brown. Because of it, there's nobody covering Jamar Chase. There's nobody covering Tanner Hudson. This safety's coming down like, man, I've got to run all the way and take Jamar here. We've seen the Bengals do this, right? Because of the blitz, they're like, oh, I've got to come down and get this. That safety, or it's Benford that was just playing off. So Benford's got to come all the way down to get Jamar. And because we got 2 guys coming backside, they're going to end up wide open. Burrow's able to throw off platform. Nice throw to Gesicki. Hudson probably the easier throw, but whatever. We'll take that touchdown. Gesicki's going to hit the dirty gritty. And let's watch from this angle, though. Watch Burrow's eyes. So you're going to see him instantly like, oh, I want to get this. But this is a shoulder pump fake to get TJ Sanders out of there. And so he can climb the pocket. And now his eyes immediately go, is Jamar going to be right here? Oh, I see Benford coming down. And then he's going to quickly understand that Gesicki and Hudson are to his side as he probably just eyes Gesicki the whole time. But you can see as he's climbing the pocket here, he's going to take a hit. He knows he is, but he's got to float it out there. And there he is laying on the ground. The shot of him laying on the ground was awesome. It's a great play by Joe Burrow going off script. Now the shootout is happening. And this is inexcusable in a lot of ways. You get a good call from the defense from Al Golden. The blitz is probably a little bit late. You see right away, as soon as like Cook went in motion, and then he's coming back this way, and Geno starts running with him. Like it's like, we got man coverage. But they're sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-6 on this play. Kind of some delayed blitzes here for your two linebackers, Oren Burks and Barrett Carter. And when Allen sees man coverage like this, we've seen it with Burrow too. With Burrow will run on these. It's how he had that long touchdown versus the Giants. It was basically this same thing of, they're not going to spy me. They're not going to really protect themselves against man coverage. Everyone with their backs turned. And that's why man coverage gets killed against running quarterbacks, because your backs get turned as you're covering downfield. But the Bengals do get something here. They get Oren Burks and Cedric Johnson with pretty much free runs based on who Deion Dawkins wants to pick. And Deion Dawkins does a good job of stringing out Johnson and then coming up and picking up Oren Burks as the nearest defender to Allen. And Allen's just going to run full speed and hope that this DN can't turn with him, right? Can't turn this corner and break down with him. And when he does, underrated part here, because I wondered why DJ Turner was so far downfield without making a play. Brandon Cooks, number 18, running with his hand up, really selling it to DJ Turner that this pass is coming and you better be running, because he's beat and he's still got his hand up, really making Turner run for it and think that this pass is coming. Now Turner looks like, what's going on? Now Cooks is in position to block him. So again, man coverage down the field. It's an Al Golden staple, but it will get you killed. You got to be able to have the enough athletes on the defensive line to corral the quarterback, keep him in the pocket. So it's a couple failures on that we've seen in this game. And I need someone to be able to handle this. And maybe we don't call man coverage concepts or things that can turn into man coverage on these high leverage situations and keep Allen in the pocket. Bengals up by 3 now, driving. They're at the 33-yard line. And similar things to what we've seen all game with all right, one guy looks like they're showing blitz. Is that what's coming? Is it, can we flip this thing out? We've seen Allen do it. We see Burrow do it. It's a very common thing to, want to get at these easy completions versus blitzes. And we already start to see the safety rotation. Maybe I use a darker color here. We can see it against the snow. We're seeing the safety rotate this way because Benford really looks like he's going to blitz. And it's funny, this is just off the week where Burrow was like, I can typically read body language really well in press conferences. And he can. He is good at those things. He is reading Benford and saying, he's going to blitz again. And Benford got them earlier on a sack. So Burrow's like, yeah, okay, he's coming. And immediately, eyes inside, right? Burrow's like, okay, is he coming? And he sees it. Benford's coming. And just like this, we stopped it on the Allen play earlier where Coleman ran a slant or could run a slant, and then he just turned and handed this ball off. It's first down. You can hand this ball off. But Burrow goes, I think I got an easy one here. I think I got a lot of space between Chase and the next defensive back. I could pick up 10. We could pretty much seal this game with a play here. That ball does come out weird, though, out of Burrow's hand as he just shot put it. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've got very little issue with allowing Burrow to do things like this on the line of scrimmage because he makes the offense good. We trust his decision making. But does this suck? Should we just run the ball and try and finish this game? Yeah, maybe if Chase Brown wasn't averaging 1.9 yards per carry. If this was the playoff game where Mixon's chewing them. Maybe if P. Ryan was having a good day in the snow. Maybe Burrow's like, you know what? We can run here. I'm confident we can run. But the box is pretty loaded up. And you see this corner blitz. This run's probably going to go for 0, but 0 is better than a pick 6. And it's a great play by Benford, who might be back-to-back Defensive Player of the Week after the sack and the pick 6 for a touchdown. This play swung the win probability bigger than any play in the last decade of NFL football. This went from being almost a lock Bengals win to now the Bills have clear advantage at home. The crowd went nuts. The momentum swing cannot be understated here. Probability numbers understood it. Momentum and being there, you could feel it. The Bills were like, oh, we're going to do this. We just had our Sam Hubbard touchdown in the playoff game type thing. And it sucks because you could have just easily handed it off and the play continues. You could have made the tackle, to be honest, and maybe you stopped the Bills. And now you're going to be down. Big time. It is such like a big negative play. Can you think of a bigger negative play against the Bengals in the Super Bowl era or the Joe Burrow era? I was called Super Bowl era, but you know what I'm saying here. In the Burrow era, other than like obviously the Super Bowl is what popped in my mind, like the final plays of that, the Logan Wilson holding, things like that. That's as big in terms of momentum swinging negative plays. I know it's in a 4-8 season. And that's not lost on me. I'm talking about the complete swing of how you felt about a game. So the Bengals get the ball back. They need a touchdown now. And to this point, like the Bills really haven't stopped them other than a couple times. You're pretty confident they're going to drive down the field and score here. We got a sit glance. Bengals have run this a million times, basically underneath here. This guy's running an in route. Based on where this linebacker goes is where you're going to throw the ball. You got two options here. You're going to high-low him, and you're going to figure it out. And as the linebacker carries with Gesicki, easy completion to Jamar Chase. They've completed this 80 times in their career. And it gets batted up, and A.J. Epinesa comes away with it. I mean, the luck. If you didn't have bad luck, they'd have no luck at all in terms of I'm just watching Milano too go up and talk to Jordan Phillips. What's he telling him, right? And then he's talking with Poyer. And I'm just watching them now because I'm thinking like Phillips just really stays in the window and never really tries to rush. Just tries to get in the window. Like if we're both going to jump inside, is it up to Phillips to knock this ball down? It's a great play by him. He also had the nice play on the 2-point conversion after the T touchdown, which we'll get to here. But I wanted to take a second for Phillips here, who's on and off the Bills roster all the time, veteran player. Was a good prospect, coming out. He's made himself a fine career. But to bat it and for Epinesa to see it and catch it, I mean, geez. Back-to-back plays. How unlucky could you be? Once again, the Bengals get the Bills to a 4th down scenario, and they're going to go for it. Very aggressive. This is what I want my team to do. The Bills aren't always like this either, so they understood what they were playing against on the other side there, and they're like, we gotta go blow for blow with the Bengals. And Jackson Hawes, 85 for them, been a sensational player, draft pick for them. Absolutely amazing blocker, and I actually think he's got some vertical speed and hands to be a eventual contributor in the passing game. And that looked like, they really sold bringing Hawes over, bringing Reggie Gilliam, who's their fullback. They really sold this run coming in right here to suck up these guys and hopefully get something over the top. But as Allen gets to the top of his drop, we got good communication here. People are pointing out who to take. Look at Barrett Carter, say, hey, make sure you pick up right here. We've got Brandon Cooks going this way. We've got Gilliam going this way. Everyone's covered. Doing a really good job. The only guy really that's going to get lost here is Jackson Hawes. Look at him still blocking. So I assume like that guy's going to say, you know what? I'm going to go get Josh Allen on the pump. Allen pumps this way. This guy's they're doubled over here, right? There's no pressure on Allen at all. He's going to come back middle. Can he get to Cooks? He doesn't see Hawes until the last second. No one just decided to cover him because he blocked first. Watch Hawes again. Watch 85. Block with Oren Burks. Let him go. Carter never realizes it. Because I see Burks come up and go get Cooks here. So maybe that's what he's supposed to do. Carter just has no idea. He's just spying the quarterback and rolling with the quarterback. No idea that Hawes could even be behind him. 4th down play. You get a stop there. And I don't know whose guy it is here. Because I also would get confused when you snap it and they're all in the line here. And you can see the confusion. And they're pointing and looking. And 2 guys cover. Battle and Dax run with, I think it's Shakir on the outside. So who knows? But that's the Bengals defense this year. 2 years, really. 2 plays remaining to decide this game. The Bengals still have a chance here, despite the feeling at the time, like you give up back-to-back scores, up back-to-back picks. It's like, yeah, it's over. But Bengals are done. They can score pretty quickly. So they get down here just a couple plays before the 2-minute warning, which is important. They got 2 timeouts. If they can score before the 2-minute warning, they can actually kick off and try and get a stop on defense. They see again we've got a blitz. Taron Johnson looks like he's blitzing from here, which makes me think we're probably looking at potentially a cover zero situation with all these guys. This, I would say, I don't even remember, but I would say him directly over him means we could potentially have a blitz here too. So the Bills look like they could be blitzing. Let's see if that's what it is, and it is. And of course, Burrow's going to see that right away. That's what he does. Gets to the top of his drop. He's just eyeing left the whole way. And I don't think he's ever thinking about throwing it there. He's throwing right. And look where he's throwing. Like, T is at the 18 with the defender still in front of him. And Burrow's like, yeah, I'm going to throw this out to the end zone. T does a great job getting around. You have to get around that guy there. You kind of have to loop it this way, get back on top of him, and then finish your route. So once you get on top of him like that, you can control where the defender is by, like, you know, keeping your back to him. Now I think Trey White's holding like crazy. He's got that arm on T. Higgins. T looks up, grabs it one-handed for the score. I mean, when the plays T made, man, he had a rough stretch in the middle of the game. And it killed them a little bit there, but his 2 big touchdowns in this game were fantastic. And the blitz pickup was fantastic. They see these guys coming. They're all over. Watch Orlando Brown Jr. pass off Epinesa to Fairchild so that he can get Taron Johnson. Watch the mentals of Dalton Reisner because we're sliding this way. But they're going to bring a guy from this way. So Reisner's not going to take Shaq Thompson at 42, right? I think it is. He's going to say, okay, you know what? There's another guy coming here. Let me get outside and just get a piece of him to throw him outside of Burrow. And he does there. And for T to come over and get that catch. I mean, the offense was firing for the most part. Bills trying to run out the clock. Bengals have used both their timeouts after a sack on second down, which, man, that ball got in the air too. Like when Osai hit him, Stone's right there trying to grab it. But you get a sack on second down. That makes it, 3rd and 15? You've got a chance to stop them and get the ball back with a chance to tie the game up or win the game. Either way, that's all you're asking for here. Just give them a chance. Get the ball back to your offense. Make it stop. Well, this to me already looks like quarters. And we started this game talking about quarters. And we're going to end the game talking about quarters. And as right away, this is going to, and quarters is going to act like a man principle because he's going to run with him. They're running with him. Like he's just staying over the top to make sure, right, that no one ends up breaking past the second line here. That's here. Knight knows he's got to go and get the running back. I think Knight goes a little early and fast and aggressive. I think Barrett Carter is going to go fast and aggressive. This looks like, to me, the Bills knew exactly what the Bengals were going to play. And Allen, just this pump here, is just trying to make sure this hole opens up between the two. And then he's going to run and find a lane and go for it. They don't want to throw the ball here. They don't want it to be a clock stoppage situation. So Allen to do that and then look to the right. And now I think if we get the other angle, he's going to be looking for an escape lane right away. I don't think Knight needs to be this far out, and Carter especially. Like Knight, I understand you kind of got to get out there, but that guy's got to catch this ball and run up, and you may have a couple defenders there to help you if you don't get there quick enough. Still got to protect the middle of the field a little bit. For Carter here, you've got 2 guys that are sitting here. There's no need for you to run with Khalil Shakir. So what if Shakir catches this right here? And these guys come up to make the tackle. So what? Like, you don't have to be so over-aggressive that you're vacating the middle of the field this aggressively. And I'm more on Carter, in my opinion, here, because you have immediate help on a short route. So, like, look at Carter. He's still going. Look at Knight. His back is too. So, again, I'm back on Knight. Like, dude, look for the ball. These guys are so spaced out. Allen is still at the 20. The line of scrimmage is a 15. He's still 5 yards behind the line. He is 100% running with this ball, and these guys are still getting spaced out. Right now, Knight just finally realizes that Allen's running with the ball. Stone is too slow and too late, I think, in a lot of ways, too. Like, he's carrying with... I understand why we're like, hey, double Dalton Kincaid. I get it. But they're not actually going to throw this ball. Make them throw that ball. And you got to make that tackle on first contact. It just, the linebacker play, the safety play, the Bills knowing that the Bengals are going to do some type of man concept here, especially in the middle of the field, it definitely acts as man. If it's quarters match or whatever, you're still, this is going to treat like man. I don't know if you guys noticed this too, what the Bills would do with their offensive linemen. Watch Edwards here. He starts releasing upfield. Why? Why do you think he is? Because he knows Allen's going to run with this ball. And if there's a spire, he's going to take on the spy. But there's no spy. Like, make Allen make this throw. Yet they treated Allen like he's Tom Brady. And you lose the game on the last play because of it. Just crazy. So just another how did we get here loss, right? Where the team, this one's different because 5%, 90% of the game, the offense is good. It's functioning. Everything looks great. The defense is playing complementary football. You give up 18 points at this point in the game. And the 2 pick sixes are backbreaking. Like, it's so hard. 2 picks, one being a pick six, the other really putting the Bills right in scoring position. So, for all intents and purposes, worth 14 points. Both of those picks. Hard to overcome that. And Burrow's great. He's not perfect. And that's what we started talking last year. Like, he's got to be perfect because the defense just can't make a stop in a game when you need one. And the defense was like, for the most of the day, good enough. But I also attribute a lot of that to the Bills feeling the pressure and calling plays and operating on offense and being aggressive on 4th downs as if they thought they would never stop the Bengals offense. Right? Like, that's what helps your defense out, is by the other team being scared of your offense, because that's where we're at here. But you got to give the defenders a chance to make a play on these critical runs by Allen on 3rd and 15 and the 40-yard run. Like, there's nobody even really spying them. They're not athletic enough to really run with Allen. The linebackers are too young to really know what they're doing. You're going into man coverage or quarters match. Like, you are asking for Allen to run, and he will. They haven't completed much of anything to the receivers in how long? It's been weeks. And yet you're going, no spy there? It's crazy to me. It's crazy we ended up in that situation. For the defense to fail as hard as they did at the end, and for the offense to fail as hard as they did at the end. Like, there's just not enough time. You can look as good as you did for 95% of the game. And when you have 2 plays like that back to back, that are just honestly bad luck, someone else making a great play against you, it happens. I try to explain in the video review and look at it like, this is why they happen. This is why the decisions are made. This is how it could happen. But it did happen, and it happened twice in a row on back-to-back plays. It's hard to overcome that. Someone wants to blame, do you want to blame Burrow? Do you want to blame defense? Blame whoever you want. I do not care, right? It's a loss. Sometimes crazy games like this that are probably super fun for neutral fans to watch, you just lose. The other team made plays, stayed with it. They just kept pounding, kept grinding, kept fighting you until you made a mistake. And the Bengals did. It's a shame. And we've got 4 weeks left to go. They're not dead, and I'm not trying to give you hope. I mean, they have to win 4 in a row, and they've won 4 all year. They're dead. But they're still going to go try to beat Baltimore this week. And I know we want to talk about who's getting fired and who do you replace and who's worth it and who do you extend and free agents and draft. And trust me, I would love to get there as well. The offseason is my favorite part of doing this, but we're not there yet. This last month goes, I think, a lot into the evaluation of Al Golden, Zach Taylor, and Duke Tobin. Even if you're done with them now, and you'd have a right to be done with them, there's still 4 games to go. And we see, even with 5 minutes to go, the whole thing can flip. And we're we still have almost a quarter of the season left. It just sucks to be in this situation. Quarter of the season left, and it is now officially a losing season, the second in the Zach Taylor era. Or I guess I'm thinking of the Burrow era. This is the third in Zach Taylor's era. First and last since 2020. But you haven't made the playoffs 3 years in a row now with a franchise quarterback. Inexcusable. This wouldn't fly, I think, for pretty much every organization in the league. Maybe there's like 5 joke organizations. We might be amongst them. Until next time on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. Also, the next time that I talk to you will be the preview show for the Ravens game. Then we'll do the postgame show for the Ravens game, where you can still win things even if the Bengals lose. Until then, hoo-day.